Hey, it's Michael Saul, but everybody calls me Tiny, and this video is Merry Cryptmas. What Bitcoin crash, and are we going to go straight up into the end of the year? This is stock market analysis for the week of December 25th, 2017. Hope everybody is having a wonderful holiday season. If you would like to receive intra-week updates from me, here's what you got to do. Go to www.attackthemarkets.com, put in your first name, your best email address, hit the sign me up button, then go to the email you used to sign up, look for an email from me. There'll be a link in it. You have to click it in order to confirm that it was actually you that signed up and not some unscrupulous person or some bot that's going around just filling out these forms. I have no idea why people don't have better things to do than that, but anyway, that's that. Hope everybody had a wonderful week last week. I didn't, but had nothing to do with trading, so whatever. Just real quick before we get a look into the market, just want to talk about this CAE Inc. for stock I talked about last week. Broke out of the triangle, really nice into new highs. If you got in on the break, it's a good idea to trail stops. Now, if you look at this, okay, stock, you could say, all right, well, the entry was around 1780 or something like that, and oh wow, big deal, it only went up to 1850s or low 1850s. But that's the point. Not every stock is going to go up 20, 30, 40, $50 at a clip, especially stocks that are only in the $17 and $18 range. It's still a nice percentage gain, and these add up as long as you are keeping your losses tight and you're letting your winners run, or at least letting them run with a trailing stop. You have the opportunity to take advantage of some nice moves in a market that is actually regulated. So am I just sitting here and hating on cryptocurrencies and hating on Bitcoin? No, I'm not. As I have said multiple times, if you have watched my videos or read my emails, I believe there is enormous opportunity here in the cryptocurrency market. But right now, as of right now, it is all on air. Okay, there is nothing, in my opinion, substantiating these types of moves. I believe that when Bitcoin does finally correct, and yes, we saw some of it last week when it dove down to 11,000, and you hear a lot of people crying about it. And I don't think that people who threw $1 million in and saw Bitcoin go up from $1 million for them to $10 million from them, I don't think they're the ones that are going to be in the pain. I think it's going to be the combination of all the small investors, just like with the stock market, who are throwing in a few $1,000s to even a few $100s, okay, and then seeing a nice gain, then not getting out. Then on the way down, they're adding more. On the way down, they're adding more. On the way down, they're adding more. Next thing you know, they've maxed out their cards, or they've taken money out of the line of the home equity line of credit, or they borrowed money, or they've put in their savings, and that's when they're going to get ripped up. And I saw it happen with the stock market. I saw it happen during the internet bubble. So it happened after the internet bubble, and that's why I believe that there is going to be massive amount of wealth destruction due to these cryptos. It has nothing to do with I don't believe in the blockchain, and has nothing to do with I don't believe that it's going to replace banking one day. I don't think it's going to, but whatever. I mean, that's what people are saying. That's not the point. Okay, right now, all the market is completely propped up on hype and on everybody pumping it and buying it and talking about it. What happens when all that stops? I do not think the Bitcoin move from whatever it was, 19s down to 11s, was a crash. I don't think so. I think it was just a correction. I think that we're going to go higher here. I'm not calling it a buy here or any of that stuff. I still have nothing to do with the futures. I actually watched a webinar of somebody trading the Bitcoin futures this weekend, and this past weekend, and somebody was up $52,000 in a single day. And then, of course, I saw at the top that it was a demo account. Now, am I saying that nobody is making that kind of money, or people aren't making money trading Bitcoin futures? No, people are making money trading the Bitcoin futures, of course. And guess what? People are also losing money. They're wiping out their accounts. They're getting cracked open. They're trying to get a piece of the pie. That's not what we do. Okay, and by we I mean savvy traders, smart traders, sophisticated traders. And by sophisticated, I don't mean like Mr. Peanut with the the eye monocle and the top hat. I mean those of us who know how to read supply and demand, who are looking for chart patterns, who are looking for high probability setups. Okay, not setups that have that are infallible, not setups that will never lose. That is just nonsense. Okay, everything has a chance of losing. There is no 100% surety that this is going to work, and that's what a lot of people are not understanding here. So Bitcoin futures, they're highly leveraged. You're getting some participation in it. Of course, it's not the same as like bonds or the euro dollar, so stuff like that. But I'm talking, you're getting some good participation, which means there are some decent swings. I'm still watching them. I am not dipping my toe in, and I am not looking to do that until at least next year, which at this point is only a few days away. So let's look at the S&P 500. We can see we went higher last week, formed another bull flag. In my opinion, we're going to try to push one more time higher. Could we correct and come down to the 20 EMA? Sure. Is there any value in trying to short here? Absolutely not. There's no value in trying to short here. I am not looking to short here. What I would be looking to do, if anything, is looking to bracket this and see if it comes out of this, and you could get one more push up into the end of the year if you decide you want to trade at all. Volatility could shrink up. That's usually what happens towards the end of the year. Real quick on the January effect stocks, I was asked not to offer out a list to the public. I apologize, but my private clients, they have decided that they wanted to keep it all to themselves. I don't really look for these real low floaters, not looking to pump and dump or anything like that. So I don't understand but I took a poll, and I don't really understand the concern, but I took a poll, and most people would prefer just to keep it private. So that's what we are going to do at least this year. I have some things on the burner for next year, including the long-awaited and highly anticipated e-mini course, as well as a weekly newsletter with daily video updates for stocks, specifically on the small cap side. So we'll talk about that in the upcoming weeks. Okay, so if you're looking to get in some January effect stocks, here's what I could tell you about that. You want to look at the stocks that are beaten down, and yes, despite the market being up this year very nicely, there are still stocks that are down on the year, and stocks that have been getting beat up. Those are the stocks you want to look at. Look for entries with tight stops. Don't commit everything to it. Unfortunately, I have horror stories of people who have committed everything and more, leveraged out on January effect stocks and gotten taken out, lost their fortunes. One guy led him to suicide, a very good friend of a friend of mine. So again, it's not the time to leverage up and think that it can't miss and it has to win. There's no such thing as has to. The other side of the January effect coin is to look for setups similar to this. I mean, it doesn't have to look just like this, but look for consolidations up near highs, what I like to call rooftop blow-ups that are ready to bust out into the new year. A lot of times you'll see new money being put to work right away as pension fund allotments, and people want to put their money to work in the new year. They're afraid, I missed it. I'm just going to wait to see if there's a correction. There's no correction. I'm going to throw it in now. Whatever the reason is, look for stocks that are setting up like that. Okay, like I said, I'm putting out a list for the private clients, but unfortunately, like I said, we took a poll / survey, and it was decided, hey, let's keep it private for now. Let's take a look at the rest of the indices. You got the Dow, you got Russell's lagging a little, but it's not a short signal. Qs look like the S&P, in my opinion. Here's the mid-caps lagging like the Russell, but again, not a huge lag, not like, oh my goodness, this is a sure sell signal. No, not at all, okay? Just lagging a little bit here. Let's look at some of the indices. Here's the semiconductors lagging a bit more, despite the Qs acting well. Clad tanker popped up, now pulling back. Here's NVIDIA, still kind of churning along here. This looks like an ABC up. Maybe we're due for some more downside on this one. Again, I don't know if there's value in this short, but it's definitely not as pumped up as it was when it was approaching the 220 area. Here's banks. Banks up right at the highs. Here's Bank of America, JP Morgan, Citigroup. So Citigroup is lagging a little bit. If the banks stay firm, look for Citibank to get on board, perhaps get up to the 78, 80 area. How about Goldman? Technically a broker, but acts like a bank. So here's the broker-dealer, also acting nice. Here's Morgan Stanley in a small little bull flag. Here's biotech, still sideways. Here's BIIB, no real signal there. Here's Gilead right at the 200-day moving average. How about the glamour stocks I like to go through? Here's Amazon. So Amazon came out of the triangle but came back in. So it's not a short signal, but may decide that it wants a little more digestion time before it makes its next move. Here's Apple. Outside of its little consolidation, consolidating again. Here's the Facebook. Came out the downside, but again, it's not a short signal. How about Netflix? Netflix is consolidating here right under the 50-day, right at the 20. Here's the Alphabet. Popped up to a new high, now pulling back here. How about Microsoft? Been acting well as also. See if this can get back to 100 in the first quarter of the year if the market stays firm. How about oil? So oil looks like it wants to try to mount an attack on $12. Pay attention there. That's the USO, I mean, not actually crude oil. Here's gold with a bounce into the 50-day moving average. Not really a buy signal here, but if it pulls back lightly and perhaps even holds the 120 or down here in the 119s, then watch for that for a buy signal. Maybe it wants to pop up to 124. Gold mine is still under 24. Like I always say, my good friend Mike Swanson, he always says people don't care about GDX till it gets over 24. Here's bonds. So again, everybody waiting for that big bond rally. I don't see it yet, okay, but we are consolidating here, so maybe this consolidation is setting up a launch pad, holding the 200-day moving average for now. Caterpillar, wow, just a total complete monster. We've been watching this basically all year. You can go back and look at the videos. This is a nice breakout. So maybe bonds do something like this, right? Consolidate for a while, then break. Of course, Caterpillar was consolidating at the highs, right? But what a move here on Caterpillar, and John Deere similar. So these are getting some really nice moves. Highlighted this back over the late summer, this beautiful triangle breakout here. All right, so again, talk about crypto first. I do not believe that the Bitcoin move was a quote-unquote crash. I do think that a larger correction will eventually come, and I think it will wipe out a lot of people's net worth. I think that we are going to go higher here on the short term in Bitcoin, but I don't believe it's a buy signal right here and now. Perhaps we're going to put in a lower high and then take out that 11,000 low or whatever the low was, maybe even go down into into below 10,000, right, into the 4 figures from the 5 figures. Maybe it gets down to 9 or 8. Maybe that capitulates some folks and then it can rally from there. I think the market is probably going higher into the end of year, but I would wait for a breakout out of this pattern. I don't believe there's a value in shorting here, and I will have a more thorough review, go deeper into some of the timing stuff that I like to do in next week's video, the New Year edition of this video, the Attack the Markets Sunday video, all right, which I'm actually doing on Monday. So again, hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. Questions, tiny@attackthemarkets.com. Don't forget to sign up to the list at attackthemarkets.com. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave some comments. You could always ask me questions. I am happy to answer them. Have a great rest of the year, and I will talk to you in next week's video or via the intra-week update.